Hey everyone, thank you for stopping by Living to Do's review of Winning Time, Season 2, Episode 4, called The New World. Before I get started with this review, if you don't mind liking this video and subscribing to the channel, I would really appreciate it, and I thank you in advance. So let's get started with Episode 4. Great episode. I really enjoyed it. Just a lot of drama. You could really feel the tension watching it. In fact, I watched it twice. It was really, really good. They start off with the 1981 preseason game against Boston Celtics. At the same time, there's Sports Illustrated magazine is going around, and Bird is on the cover. But inside the magazine is an article of Westhead and the Lakers in a classroom. Westhead is an English teacher, loves poetry, and it's the Lakers, something about the blackboard, and he really finds that interesting. Everybody else they don't quite get it. The team doesn't get it, but they do it for Westhead. And there's also issues with the team and Westhead, him and his system, this system that he has created that's really, really basic, that no one enjoys playing. It's something I imagine it to be, you'll be taught this way of basketball, maybe in PE the first time you play basketball. But these people are elite athletes, and you just stifle their abilities to show off their skill, and that's what they enjoy to do. But they got to operate within the system. Particularly, Magic doesn't like the system. He just has to run to areas of the court. I guess they're like numbers. So it's like paint by numbers basketball. He has to run to a spot and get the ball, whatever, give it to the next guy. It's just very, very, very basic. In fact, I don't know why other teams can't figure this out and operate in a way that they can defeat the system. There's also a discussion that Jerry West and Bill Sharman are talking about. They're trying to add another player to the team, and Jerry West doesn't want to add Kurt Rambis to the roster. Paul Westhead gets wind of this. He knows that that Jerry West doesn't want Rambis on the team. And just because that simple fact, Westhead adds Kurt Rambis to the team, which infuriates West. And then again, everything infuriates West. But Westhead is making decisions based on just to go against somebody else. It could be a sound judgment, trade, or, an addition to the team, whatever it is. But if it comes out of certain people's mouths, Westhead doesn't want to have any part of it. He doesn't want to make the staff happy, particularly Pat Riley and Jerry West. And apparently, you don't need a star. The way West operates and his system, you don't need a star. You're going to just play by the numbers, the paint by numbers basketball, and anybody can show up and do it. So it's no big deal. Wow. Or I guess during the game or before the game, the Lakers are playing this preseason game against Boston. Red, the owner of the Boston Celtics, is chopping it up with Bus, talking about this Magic contract, 25 years for $25 million. And it gets out to the press per Red that that's the contract that Magic is getting, that nobody seems to be aware of until he spills the beans. So it's right before a preseason game, and the reporters are going up to Bus asking him about this contract, and Bus, of course, is trying to play it down. And then they get a hold of Magic on the court, and they're trying to ask him about this, because the team doesn't know about it. Everybody's contract, I don't know why it's so public. I guess that does create animosity when you're when your teammates are making far less than you. But then again, that's the contract. You're all not going to get paid the same necessarily. But when you get paid so much more than everybody else, they're calling Magic a lifetime player. And everybody else feels that they are not, that they feel that Magic is the favorite child of Bus. So he's going to get away with a lot more, which actually pisses off Westhead. He thinks that because Magic has an ear to Bus, that his system that he's put together, that Magic is really opposed of and doesn't really act like he wants to play it, is optional to Magic. So Westhead goes to Bus and he wants to have control of the team, what happens on the team. And Bus was reluctant to give it to him at first, or at least he put him in his place, because Westhead was telling Bus that this was his team and he wants to do things this way. And quickly, Bus corrected him and said, whose team? It was his team and he's the king. And Westhead works for him. But he's going to do what Westhead asks if he can get him another championship, because he needs that for business so he won't be in the hole. And he cannot accept losing. So he's going to ride this system play out and do what the coach wants as long as the coach brings him results. But he's having a problem with Magic, but he better work it out. It was really interesting to see when they were playing the game. They showed the stars that normally would go out to a Laker game, especially back then. They showed Diane Cannon, which she would always go to the games. I have not seen her in such a long time. Whatever happened to her? She was she was there all the time, just as much as Jack Nicholson was back in the day. And Jack, I think he still shows up to the games. But whatever happened to her? Some of this contract talk is actually getting to Kareem too. The whole team, and they're just sour teammates. And Kareem is considering going to New Jersey because they can appreciate quality basketball. Now, I don't know if that was a hit at Westhead and his system play, or because Magic showboats, maybe a little bit of both. Nixon is not too happy, but he's never happy with Magic, it seems. He thinks that Magic having this contract makes him part owner. And Magic is trying to get along with the guys. He loves the guys. He doesn't want anything putting a wedge between them. And he says, this doesn't change anything. It's just business. But Norm gets a little too nasty, and Magic bites back, and he tells him that, he could learn a thing or two about business. I don't know what Norm has going on in his life other than his wife, Debbie Allen, but Magic had went on to be a great businessman, owning up a lot of things. So Magic actually gets mad at Nixon, and he tells him to F off. And Nixon says, well, there's not enough money in the contract for that. I love his little smart remarks. He's so cute. Anyway, the system, it doesn't really work. They win a little bit. I mean, but when they win, they barely win. They win by small margins, or they'll even lose to a team that they should blow out. Bus is letting it ride. Westhead told him is going to work out some kinks. It might take a while. So Bus is letting it ride, and he doesn't want to change coaches mid-season. I think they had to do that before when McKinley got hurt. They're showing the team playing games, different games, and after one of the games, Kareem is talked to by Westhead. Westhead is trying to tell him, he wants, I guess, in a way, he was quietly pep talking him to step up. He knows that the Lakers have not really shown him that much respect, and he can understand why he has a grudge. But for whatever reason, this little pep talk, Kareem says he has one more year on his contract and he's going to do his best. And after the game, Kareem talks to Magic, or actually Magic started a conversation with Kareem. And Kareem basically told him that, you, Magic, once told me to humble myself. He goes, we need you to do the same and, work the system the way the coaches want. It's not about you and your Showtime days. And it's also stressing out Riley. Pat Riley, the assistant coach, Westhead tells him that he needs his support as well. He notices that he's not getting it and he needs his support. And you see poor Riley, he's stressed out. He starts smoking. Westhead notices, oh, you're smoking again? And he can't quit basically because he's stressed. So he can't quit. Also, he entered the office one day with a neck brace, and they showed him laying on the floor. He thinks he's gotten this crook in his neck because of stress at work. So he was walking around with the neck brace. He's not happy. Everyone notices that the Lakers are not playing Laker ball. The sports talk, all those talking heads, they notice it. But, they're barely winning here and there. It's not a total loss, this system, but it's just no flair to it. Riley and Westhead, they keep getting into it. They have an argument in the office, and Riley had put together some other plans, some other plays. Westhead won't look at it because the system is working. And he tells a story that he won all this. He won a championship based on his system. He's not changing it. So that it's going to be what it is. He's going to be operating in his system, and if he loses, he'll lose on his own terms, on his own game. He doesn't want to change up his style of play, his coaching style, based on somebody else. If he loses on his own term. He just got a little chip up he's gone Hollywood. I never thought last season he would be that kind of guy. He's winning. He's at the parties. He's dancing. He's really enjoying himself. New clothes, new flair, new big head. But he's kind of winning. And the way he looks at it and the way that Bus looks at it, if the system is going to win games, they're going to leave it as is. So McKinley meets with Westhead. He was the former coach of the Lakers, and he got hurt, and he went on to play or coach Indiana. And before that night's game, they had lunch, and Westhead was so happy to see McKinley. They're going to be going against each other that night, but they were going to have lunch. He thought as friends, and McKinley basically told him he was going to destroy him, and he was going to do it in two parts. He was going to do it when he played against the Lakers at home, when the Lakers were home, and then he was going to embarrass him, blow up his spot again when they came to Indiana. I mean, he's telling him this before the game that he's going to blow it up. I don't know why he's so mad, because he's a Lakers coach, but he had head injuries, and I think the head injuries were making him, it seems like he had some issues with remembering things, and Westhead had his back last year. And so it wasn't Westhead who took his job away. It was his injury, but he's like bitter towards him. So when they get to the game, beginning of the game, most of the Lakers are greeting him like he's Santa Claus. They're so happy to see him. Westhead's at the sidelines, and he's looking on, and he is unhappy. He doesn't like that his team is bigging up the old coach. And basically, this guy has been hurt. He was their coach. He did wonders for them. They're happy to see him. Everybody's greeting him. I guess the biggest hug came from Magic. And this really pisses off Westhead. But they played the system, and the Lakers won by one. Again, they barely win games. When they do win, there's no blowouts. In fact, Chick Hearns, the Lakers announcer, said they barely won, and that Westhead's going to need the jaws of life to unclench himself because it was such a nail biter. They were just too close. So they go to Salt Lake City, and they're playing a game there. And Magic causes a scene. They're getting in a huddle, and Magic stands right outside the huddle. Westhead urges him to come back into the huddle. Magic says, I hear just fine. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. And then the camera crews are going in closer, and you see that there's a fight going on. And he says, you know, he told Magic that he needs to get in this huddle or he's going to have to go to the locker room. Magic goes towards the locker room, and then he's contemplating, you know, he's thinking about his contract, the team. He's mad as hell. He doesn't want to go out on the court again to play, but he does. After the game in the tunnel, Westhead pulls him aside into a storage room and tells him to never do that again, never to embarrass himself. He said that he even humiliated himself. He's telling Magic that he humiliated himself. How are you going to tell another man if he's humiliated or not? But whatever. And Magic takes it like a little boy. And he's like, you done? You done? He don't want to hear nothing from him. Westhead lets him go out. The reporters try to stop him. Magic goes into the locker room. Reporters stop Westhead, and he's trying to act like it was no big deal, give him some stupid poem quote that he made up. Meanwhile, Magic is in the locker room. Everybody, you know, they won, but you would never know they won. They're all just acting like they lost bad, but they won the game, and they're, you know, slowly getting things out of their locker. It looks like that they're just not happy. The reporters come in, they all surround Magic. They want a quote. What did Westhead say? What's going on? What's going on? Magic reluctantly responds and tells the reporters that he's not happy. He's playing hard, very hard. He's having no fun, but he's got to go, and he's going to talk to Jerry Buss because he wants to be traded. And that's how they end this episode. The drama, the tension, I loved it. It was better than last week's. I love this show. It is so good. But that is it for now. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. And I thank you in advance. But I got to go because I got a living to do. Bye.